And welcome to Bayou Time. Martin Folse here on a very sad note. My old journalism and my writing professor, Dr. Al Delahaye, has passed away at the age of 92. Let's bring up a picture, if we can, of Dr. Delahaye. Dr. Alfred Newton Delahaye, Nicholls State University professor, emeritus of journalism, died Thursday, December 30th, St. Joseph's Manor in Thibodaux. He was 92 years old. Of course, Dr. Delahaye was born in Bruley in 1929 and was a 1946 graduate of Port Allen High School. In 1949, he completed a degree in journalism at LSU and then reported for the Franklinton Era Leader. In the 1950s, he completed a master's degree at LSU, served in the U.S. Marine Corps, and was managing editor of the Houma Courier. In 1957, he began his career at Nicholls State University, where he served as instructor of journalism and director of publications and public information. He was also the founding president of the LSU Journalism Alumni Association and founder of the Nicholls Alumni Federation and the Nicholls Hall of Fame. Along with all of the accolades that he received, in 2009, Nicholls State University honored Dr. Delahaye. Much to his chagrin, he didn't really like being in the limelight. They honored him and bestowed upon him all kind of accolades on that night, and I had a chance to talk with Dr. Delahaye about the night. Joining me now, Dr. Al Delahaye, and of course all the interviews we've been doing and all the fuss is about this man, and in true Dr. Delahaye style, he told me that he doesn't belong on TV because he's a print guy all these years. But you know what? You did inspire so many people that some of us who are in the media business and broadcasting do remember your classes very well, and you've got to really be touched by the showing tonight and everybody paying you a tribute.
I cannot believe how many of my students from the 70s and the 80s are here tonight. And they did Nicholls and they did me proud. And those early students were pioneers because we started with a primitive program and somehow it worked, and their success is just fantastic.
I got to give you a lot of credit because over the years, there have been many times, and on a personal note, when I've covered very tough news stories and I've had to check my sources multiple times, and matter of fact, me and Billy Tozan were just talking about it. What you entrenched in my brain was check for accuracy, accuracy, accuracy. Make sure that what you're hearing is really what the facts are, and I can't tell you how many times I think back to what you instilled in me.
Well, quite often I'd begin my first news writing class by writing in chalk on the board accuracy in letters that were about 2.5 feet tall. And then I was real proud of you when you made the front page of the Wall Street Journal because you were fighting the good fight to get a school board tape on the air. And hooray and congratulations.
Thank you. What does this mean to you that, first of all, retirement means nothing to you because you've been on campus ever since and you still have an office and you still work a lot?
I have to be productive, and when you're around young people, that keeps you young. I do whatever I can. I enjoy writing for campus publications. I enjoy coordinating departmental scholarships for our students. And it's just great being around students and helping students.
And you've documented the presidents of the university, and I got to say, Dr. Ayo told me tonight that he was laughing, that he gave you a fact, that he thought he was giving you a good fact, but that the next day he found out you were actually checking the source to make sure it was a true story.
Well, you check and double check everything. The worst thing that can happen to a journalist is inaccuracy and, of course, unfairness. But you've gone far and you've done well, and you've put us on the map, and I'm grateful to you.
Well, let me just say this. Everyone that I've interviewed tonight has given you a piece of the credit for their success, and I think you see there's a lot of who's who in the room tonight that have given you a piece of that success, so obviously your message has really come across.
Well, when you have fantastic students who accept challenges, who have imagination, creative skills, how can you miss?
but in true Dr. Delahaye style, you will not take any of the credit. You always give it out. That has been a trademark of you for years.
Well, the students deserve the credit. They did the work. All I did was nudge them here and there.
On a light note, when me and Tim Hemel were in the back of the class playing around with his watch and all, and I thought for years you never knew we were cutting up back then until recently you told someone that we used to play around with this watch with music on it. You really knew everything that was going on in your class.
Usually I did, and the best writing you ever did was when I had you do a word portrait of Tim Hemel. It was fantastic. In fact, I used that as a teaching tool for quite a number of years.
Oh, well, thank you. It's a compliment, and thank you for the years that you put in and for all of the times you stayed on us with that red ink pen to make sure that we got the message.
I still red ink the Nicholsworth, but only at the request of the editors. And they still want my red ink, and I give it to them.
Thank you, Doc.
Thank you, Martin.
Wow, a compliment from Dr. Al Delahaye is certainly a compliment for the ages, and I appreciated that. He taught me so much. He was so inspirational. He was so focused on the end game, and that end game was to make sure you graduated from Nichols. You became a great writer, and you went over your fact sheets. You did your different things, and I think you'll hear from some of the interviews I have coming up with various people who took his class. He instilled that in so many. Dr. Delahaye, gone, but will never be forgotten. We'll be right back.